Hey everybody, welcome to Face the Music, a little trip down memory lane and some music that we used to listen to or maybe still do listen to, and some music from more recent times. Today I thought I would play for you some musical do's, meaning all the songs start with do, and that will be followed up in a future episode, a very future episode of musical don'ts. So I've started off today with Steely Dan. Sorry, let me turn this up for a little bit. And this is Do It Again by Steely Dan. And Steely Dan are an American jazz band, jazz rock band. I always thought of them as kind of funky a little bit. They peaked in the 1970s and disbanded for a while through the 80s and reformed in 1993, and I think they're still together now. But their big heyday for new material was in the 1970s. And I remember hearing their song FM in the mid-70s. I was a kid and loving it, absolutely falling in love with them, which was probably a bit of an unusual choice for a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. But I just have always loved their music since I was a kid. Anyway, it's great stuff, great stuff. Now I'm going to move on to The Police, and this is da-da-da-da. I think most people will be familiar with The Police. They were pretty huge at the time. English band, late 70s, formed in the late 70s, disbanded in the mid 80s. The lead singer is Sting, who had a huge solo career after The Police split up. There's quite a long intro to that song. Anyway, that's Da-Do-Do-Do, Da-Da-Da-Da by The Police. Now I'm going to move on to another early 80s, early to mid 80s band that everybody should be familiar with. I think everybody's familiar with Culture Club. I was really surprised when I was doing some reading up for this episode on the Culture Club at how many awards they had won and how influential they were, and they had a lot more hits than I had remembered them having. They were formed in the early 80s, had their biggest success in the early to mid 80s, and broke up in the mid 80s. They have recently, very recently reunited. It was announced on Facebook that they were going to release some new material, and they played together in Edinburgh in July of this year. So I think they've had a lot of attempts to get back together but have been unsuccessful with that. And of course the lead singer is Boy George. And he's been known for his antics in recent years, and I think he might have a few personal issues that he's trying to deal with. So this is Do You Really Want to Hurt Me by Culture Club. Now that one should be a real blast from the past. That was quite a big song at the time. Now I'm going to move forward to the early 90s, and this is from a movie. This is probably best known from a movie, actually, the movie The Commitments. And this is the song Do Right Woman, Do Right Man. And I don't know if you saw the film The Commitments, or the film for the Irish viewers. It was a very entertaining movie about a bunch of Dubliners that get together to form a soul band. It was based on a Roddy Doyle novel. And I think I read something that they now turned it into a stage musical. Maybe in Ireland or the UK, I'm not sure. Anyway, that was very popular when the film was out. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. I doubt that it's dated that much. It was quite entertaining at the time. I'll just play a little bit of this because it was very good. The music was all really well done. It was all covers of blues music. Anyway, let's move on to the last song that I want to play for you today, and this is by an Australian band from Brisbane called The Creases. And we saw them, they opened here in Australia about 6 months ago for an English band called Drenge. My husband and I went to see Drenge, and The Creases opened for them, and they were really good, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this is a song called Do You Know Why by The Creases, and they just released their first, I don't know if you call it an album, it's only got 5 songs on it, but this is from their first release. Kind of reminds me of that Arctic Monkeys, Strokes kind of upbeat guitar stuff. Anyway, that's Do You Know Why by The Creases. Now, please don't steal music. Give the artists the credit they deserve. So buy all your music. And I don't own the copyright to any of this stuff. That all rests with the copyright holder. That's a little bit of music for you. A little few musical do's to be followed by musical don'ts. Thanks for watching.